It's always a risk being cross-disciplinary, because when people who are hiring junior faculty and so on are looking for an expert, they tend very often to go for somebody who's quite a narrow sort of expert, who's just studied one bit of the Bible or one bit of systematic theology, whatever it may be. But I think when we think about the demands of teaching, then what I would want to be hiring, if I was hiring scholars for a faculty, would be people who weren't just narrowly focused on one particular bit, but were very much aware of the larger questions across the whole range of theological and indeed theological and philosophical topics. For myself as a biblical scholar, the more I've tried to engage with the history of biblical scholarship over the last 200 years, the more I've realized that a lot of biblical scholars, not least in Germany, but not only in Germany, have been really very much influenced, more than I think Anglo-Saxon readers tend to imagine, by the theological and philosophical currents of their time. And so that when those different issues and potential solutions and analyses come through to contemporary biblical studies, often people who've only studied, say, a bit of the Synoptic Gospels or a bit of Paul or whatever, are not equipped to deal with the depth dimension, the three-dimensionality, if you like, of where the things in their own discipline have come from. And I would hope that a course like ours, especially at PhD level, which is explicitly bringing together the analytic, philosophical, theological and exegetical traditions into one melting pot, if you like, would be able to produce a fresh generation of people ready and equipped to deal with these larger issues. This is not easy, and it's not easy both to do the research in that way because time is short and there's a great deal to read, and because actually writing a dissertation, which is quite a short thing really, and dealing with things in a specialized way, that's difficult too. But I hope we can pioneer ways of doing that in a credible, viable and intellectually grown-up way, which will then enable such people to be qualified to be leading in this kind of integrated field in the days to come.
The Institute is providing a space for interdisciplinary dialogue between biblical studies, theology, and philosophy, all of which actually have the same end of understanding the truth about humanity, truth about the cosmos, truth about God, yet rarely do they actually dialogue in such a way that enriches the conversation and underscores the fact that they are pursuing a shared goal.
So why would I encourage somebody to come and pursue a PhD in the Logos Institute in St Andrews? I think first, because we have a proven record in St Andrews of delivering students to a successful PhD within 3 years and having that PhD published as a monograph. Second, because here in the Logos Institute we can offer top-flight supervision in the fields of analytic philosophy, biblical scholarship, and analytic theology.
My background's largely in analytic philosophy, but my interests are actually in theology largely as well. And so I wanted to have a background of the analytic mode of approaching these questions, but at the same time I wanted to be able to have the language of theology with which to approach them as well. So the Logos Institute was really the place to be in order to bring both of those things together with, this really good guidance with, the Torrance family involved, and how to put those things together.